your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
I think especially today, delicious. We're not even randomly. We're just delicious today.
We are delicious today.
We're delicious today. We're delicious to listen to today.
What exactly have we done to be delicious today?
I think just so far, we're off to a good start. We've got good energy, good enthusiasm, good content, good stuff. Okay. Let's see here. Ranger Baseball tonight, we'll have the broadcast exactly 12 hours from now as they play host to the Washington Nationals. Here's a note on the game tonight. Jacob deGrom is going to start.
Good news.
Yep. And I knew that he was closing in on this because they've talked about it on every broadcast that he's pitched in terms of him getting to 2,000 career strikeouts. Here's what I didn't know, and this may surprise you. When he gets to 2,000, which could be tonight, he's at 1,998. He'll be the second fastest pitcher to get to 2,000 in Major League Baseball history in terms of doing it in games. Only Randy Johnson is ahead of him, who got his 2,000th in 262 games. So I thought that was...
Shows you how dominant he was at one point.
Yeah, right. This will be his 272nd start in his career. Clayton Kershaw, for instance, he did his in 277. Now, Chris Sale holds the record by innings in 1,626. And this might surprise you, and again speaks to his dominance, what you just said. Yu Darvish got to 2,000 in 1,697 and a third, and is currently second behind Sale in terms of doing it in innings. Okay. So the problem for Jacob deGrom is he's now 38 years old because of all the time that he's missed. So, I mean, I don't know how much he's got left in him. Does he have another year left in him? The current active leader in Major League Baseball, although he's retiring at the end of the season and he's only made one start this year, he's hoping to get back. Don't know if he can. Justin Verlander, he has 3,554 strikeouts. Okay.
I thought he'd announced that he was retiring at the end of the year.
He is.
That's
what I said.
Okay.
That's what I said. I said he's retiring at the end of the year.
He had still been trying to get back, I think, basically just to say he'd throw one more time kind of a deal.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, too, is that he was just trying to see if he could get himself healthy because at the All-Star break, Detroit was kind of in the thick of things.
They were in the hunt.
Yeah. And was feeling like they could be a little special. But, at this point in time, they're 5.5 behind the White Sox. They're in the Central. White Sox lead Minnesota by 4 games. You feeling pretty good about your Sox there, Mr. McGuire?
Yes.
There's no holes in them.
Do I think they can beat everybody in the World Series? No. Mm-hmm. Do I think they're probably a year ahead of expectations? Yes. Am I...
So do you think that's the White Sox being better than you expected, or the rest of the division being a little bit lesser than you expected?
Little column A, little column B.
Yeah.
Like, I do think they are playing better baseball than I expected them to play this year. I do also think that Cleveland and Detroit have fallen off the face of the earth from where they were a year ago. But, they're playing good baseball. Like, they're getting good pitching. They're getting timely hitting. They're doing all the things the Rangers aren't doing. They're just... I was not upset that they didn't go make a huge move this offseason. I think if they're in the same position next year, that's when they make the big move at the trade deadline.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, enjoy the Central Division Championship and, go play in the playoffs.
Go play in the playoffs and see what happens. I mean, it's a heck of a lot better than what it was last year.
At that point.
Yeah. Boy, I want some of what Grasshopper's drinking this morning. Good morning. He says, "Morning, my AM buddies." Oh, good morning to you, Grasshopper. What a summer to be on the Red Raider train. Looking forward to winning the national championship in football, basketball, and softball.
It's a pretty tall task.
How about just winning one of those?
If you got one of them, you'd probably be pretty thrilled.
Yeah.
And the other two were still really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're contenders.
Yeah. Do you let's just play this game just for a second, okay? Stopping 1,000 cars, 4th and Q, okay? You're not offering them anything. You're just asking a question. If you could win a national championship in football, basketball, or softball, what do you think the percentage breakout is there?
1,000 people?
1,000 people. 1,000 cars.
900 basketball. I mean, not 900 football. 90 basketball, 10 softball. If you gave them that list.
990 football, 10 basketball, 0 softball.
0 softball. Okay. I think it's a little bit different. I think it's going to be 750 football, 200 basketball, and 50 softball.
Dang it, Jamie. Now we got to get drug tested again.
No, I did the math right. I said 750.
That's how crazy your numbers are.
750 football.
Right. It's not that your math is wrong.
This is going to sound so disparaging, and I don't mean for it to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
Of people that are not involved with the Tech softball program, like they're a part of it, you think there are 50 of them that would rather win a national championship, and they're just regular Red Raider fans. They root for all Tech sports.
Well, I was thinking
there are 50 of them that would pick Tech softball over Tech football.
Was kind of really what I was thinking about. Is I was thinking about the demographics of the cars that was stopping there, and I was just thinking, just based on that there'd be some softball fans in there too.
Over football fans. They would rather us win a national championship in softball.
I didn't say rather. I just said if they were, yeah. I guess
that's what you're asking the question of.
Rather.
That's as crazy as a statement that you've made that I've ever heard.
Really? Guys, I mean, of all the crazy things?
50 of them.
50 of them.
50 just regular Red Raider fans. I root for all sports. I don't have a tie to any of them.
Yeah.
50 of them would pick, out of 1,000, would pick softball over football.
I think there would be a...
Softball and men's basketball.
Right.
That is enormously crazy.
Enormously crazy. Okay, well.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Thursday, August the 20th, 2026. With this day in sports history, here is Jeff McGuire.
Starting in 1938, New York Yankees future Baseball Hall of Fame first baseman Lou Gehrig hits his record 23rd and final grand slam, an 11-3 win over the Philadelphia A's at Shibe Park. That's a lot of grand slams. That's a lot of opportunities to be at the plate with bases loaded. And succeeding.
They had great teams, right?
1958, Chicago Cubs used first baseman Dale Long as the first Major League lefty catcher since 1906. And I still don't get it. I understand why if everybody was right-handed, if everybody batted right-handed. But the number of left-handed batters, I figure that would have changed by now. Like, we haven't seen there aren't lefty catchers.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the thing about it is, Jeff, at the lower levels, there probably still is way more right-handed hitters. Okay? Like when you're talking about high school and little league and all that.
Yeah.
And so maybe guys don't get playing it.
And then you put that guy at first. Like, you put the left-handed guy at first base. I get it. But why there hasn't been, like, I'm not saying that every team should have one.
I mean, the throw down to second should be the same. The throw to third would obviously be harder for a left-hander. The throw to first would be easier, but it's not like you do that a lot.
Sure.
So I still can see that it's harder for a left-hander.
But not enough for me to think that there isn't like a left-handed major league catcher right now.
It's just you just don't do it.
You figure you've got 30 teams, each one carrying 2 catchers. None of them are left-handed.
Oh,
it's just weird to me.
I just think it's too difficult to throw because of the right hand. It's just
the mechanic. There's a position that's changing. I get, like, you have to turn to throw, but if there's a bunt to the first base side or third base side and the catcher fields it, he's got to pick up and turn to throw anyway with his right hand.
Just like you don't see very many right-handed first basemen. I mean, you see them. They are there.
It's just weird to me. I don't get it.
Yeah.
1980.
I would bet the percentage of first basemen now is close to 50-50.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
1980, New York Yankees Bob Watson hits Seattle's Kingdom Speaker for the second time in 2 days. 1991, Dan Marino surpasses Joe Montana as the highest paid NFL player with a 5-year extension worth, brace yourself, boys,
$5 million.
$25 million.
Times 5 a year, yeah.
Man, how is Dan Marino going to spend $5 million a year for 5 years?
No, he doesn't have to spend it on gloves.
He had that apartment for his.
And first game in the new natural grass surface at Texas Tech Soccer, the Red Raiders rolled past New Mexico State 5-0. It is National Chocolate Pecan Pie Day and National Bacon Lovers Day.
Oh, give me the bacon.
Of those two, definitely.
Happy birthday, Janine Elizabeth Sonis. We know her better as Janine Becky. Turns 32 today.
What happened to the Sonis and the Becky?
She got married.
Okay.
We know her better as Janine Becky.
Gotcha.
She is now Janine Sonis.
She was
born Becky.
Janine Becky here got married, yes.
And now her married.
You said that backwards, Jeff.
Yeah.
I said we know her better as Janine Becky. Her name is Janine Sonis. We know her better as Becky.
You made it sound like
okay.
You made it sound like that Becky was her married name, not Sonis. Becky is her maiden name.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. We're steadily going downhill.
I'm not exactly sure what you said, Jeff, but it was very confusing.
It made it sound like Becky was the married name, not Sonis.
I thought when he said it that she changed her name at some point. I was like, she wasn't born Janine Becky. We had a player that had changed her name before she got to Tech. That's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah, and then he said she got married. I'm like, okay, so was she married here or what? Just very confusing.
Yeah.
Demi Lovato, 34. Andrew Garfield, 43. Amy Adams, 52. Ray Wise, 79. Robert Plant, 78. Don King, 95.
Is he still alive? Wow.
Oh, my goodness. I had no idea.
Al Roker, 72. And Mitch Trubisky is 32.
I'd like to see a picture of him at 95.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's still recognizable with that hair and all that
hair,
good stuff. Yeah.
Ross is now yelling at the radio. So that's what you've done, Jeff. You forced Ross to yell at the radio.
Which one of us is he yelling at?
That wasn't my intention.
Who's he yelling at? Does
Probably.
he say?
He does not say. He says, okay,
probably.
I'm yelling at the radio. Just yelling at the radio.
1974.
But Ross tells me he does this frequently, though.
He yells at the radio?
Yeah, he yells at us on the radio.
Okay.
Okay.
1974.
Yeah.
One of my favorite little tidbits in history. President Gerald Ford, who was never elected vice president or president, as president on the 11th day of being in office, gets his vice president on this day. And that would be Governor Nelson A. Rockefeller. And that is this day in sports history.
The death of Nelson Rockefeller is very interesting. So I'll just leave it at that. Okay. He had a heart attack. He wasn't at home. Do you know who the all-time leader is in Grand Slams right now and what that number is?
Lou Gehrig with 23. Oh, current or active?
No, the all-time leader. He is retired as well. He's still alive.
It's not Lou Gehrig?
Ken Griffey Jr.
No. Who did you say?
He said Ken Griffey.
No, Ken Griffey Jr. is incorrect.
Hank Aaron?
No.
No idea then.
Alex Rodriguez.
How many does he have?
25.
Whoa.
Manny Ramirez has 21. Eddie Murray has 19. And then there's a tie between Willie McCovey and Robin Ventura at 18. Jimmy Fox has 17. Ted Williams had 17. A guy named Carlos Lee. I remember Carlos Lee. He had 17 as well. Do you know who is the leader? And there are two of them. They're tied for Grand Slams in a single season. Jamie, you should get this.
Alex Rodriguez.
No. He is a Yankee.
Derek Jeter.
No.
Dave Winfield.
No, but good guess. It's right along those lines. He is a current manager.
Don Mattingly.
Don Mattingly. He's tied with Travis Hafner. Both those guys had 6. Mattingly in 87, Hafner in 2006. Ernie Banks had 5 in 1955. Jim Gentile had 5 in 1961. And then Albert Pujols had 5 in 09. And Richie Sexson had 5 in 06. Yeah. All right. 6:54 this morning here on the Morning Drive. I was going to say that'll do it for us, but no, it won't, because we got 2 more hours of fun-filled stuff for you here this morning on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3.
We'll try not to have Ross yell at us anymore.
Yeah.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
We'll have baseball on the air for you tonight. Astros will try to win their series with the Angels. They won last night. 6:40 the broadcast time on 100.7 the score. Balls and strikes at about 7:10. Rangers will try to win their series tomorrow with the Washington Nationals. They could only be leveled up. They're going to play a 4-game series with the Nationals. So they lost last night. They won Monday night. So it's 1-1. So somebody could still win the series, or they could split it. So we'll see on that. 6:30 the broadcast time on Double T 97.3 and 7:10. First pitch. Then the Rangers will host the Angels. They'll stay in Texas. The Angels will be here for the weekend. All right. They're in the midst of football over there at the football training facility. It was practice number 12 yesterday. They are off today. They'll practice tomorrow and then scrimmage on Saturday. Scrimmage is not open to the public, the general public, I think is how it was termed in the AJ today, because there's some of the public that's invited, but some of the public that's not. The general public is not invited, which is fine. Okay?
Yes, it is fine. I have no beef.
Yeah, me neither. Mac Leftwich is the offensive coordinator for the Red Raiders. He is in his second season under Coach Joey McGuire. He was asked about Will Hammond yesterday and how he has looked and how he looked in the fall scrimmage.
Yeah, I thought he did a really nice job moving in the pocket. I think he did a really nice job going through progressions. Really clean operation. You know, that one group, subbing in and out of personnel, getting plays in, no pre-snap penalties, and so that's something we struggled with last year. So we really challenged those guys. So that was really exciting to see. I think came away, ended up 67% completion percentage on the day. In some situations where you're in 2 minute, you're in red zone where we're thudding, and it kind of tends to be a little bit more drop back pass. So in some challenging spots, I thought he performed really well. I think for him, just knowing when to check the football down, when not to be too aggressive, and take what the defense is giving you and live with completions and move on. Especially the guys that we have that you're throwing those checkdowns to. You get the ball in space to Jacoby Williams, Terrence Carter, Cam Dickey. Those guys have the explosive play capability on a 5-yard pass. So just continue to be aggressive. When the defense presents the opportunity, but know when to take a completion and get the second down or move the chains.
In addition to coming back from an injury, he's also not played in quite some time, but he had playing time before that. So he gets to kind of, and probably had the opportunity to go back and look at a lot of film in terms of what he was doing and maybe how he can improve himself and things along those lines. So those are the things that Coach Leftwich had to say. They're all the things that you want to hear: the check downs, the taking what the defense is giving you.
Yeah, because that's a big part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you love his arm and you love his ability, but the kind of the maturity of a quarterback is that point where he says, okay, there's nothing here. Let me just, the big play is not here. Let me just take something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's live to play another down, so to speak. So let me check this down for 3 and get us into 2nd and 7 instead of throwing a pick. Or, let's, how about I just tuck and run here and get a few yards and not force it into double coverage. So and at times those are important plays because you would obviously, being very obvious here, you'd prefer to just throw the ball away,
sure, than
you would to be throwing in an interception. But you need a quarterback to be able to make plays, but you also need him to know at times it's better off not trying to make the hero play and just throw the ball away.
Yeah, so that's good. And then the fact that they didn't have any pre-snap penalties, that's awesome. Look, you're not going to go a whole season without pre-snap penalties. I think it'd
be cooler if you did, though.
It'd be cooler if you did, yeah.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
I think the ones that drive everybody nuts is when you have
all of them. Every single one. They are all equally driving of the nuts.
Well, I don't know. There's sometimes when you have the ball like at the 33-yard line and it's 2nd and 3 and you feel like you've got this play that you really love, and now all of a sudden you get a pre-snap penalty and it's 2nd and 8 from the 38, and
just as bad when it's 1st and 15 because your offensive lineman moves.
I'm with you.
They all stink, but I agree with Chuck in that they sting a little bit more when it's 1st and goal at the 2 and now it's, or 3rd and goal at the 2 and now it's 3rd and goal at the 7.
Yeah, something
completely changes. Part of your playbook is gone now.
So you just kind of hope that you can keep making progress, and you've got these first couple of games where. Obviously, the level of competition is not what it's going to be in the Big 12. Some would say, well, your Big 12 is really not going to be that much competition either. Well, okay. I'm sure that the coaching staff over there would say, hey, look, those people that we're playing, they're going through 2-a-days too, or not 2-a-days. They're going through summer workouts. They've got people on scholarship, and they're paying big money to folks too that they have expectations for, and then you get everybody's allowed to improve, right?
Yes, that is accurate.
So, you never know how somebody's going to be until they step off the bus, so to speak, and come at you. Coach Leftwich also talked about Quentin Joyner, who obviously is coming off of a knee injury himself, much like Will Hammond. And here is his comments on Quentin.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's done a great job. I think Garrett's done a nice job mixing the rotation up throughout fall camp, kind of mixing up, him getting some reps with the 1s, getting reps with the 2s, and he's kind of playing himself into shape right now. This is his first, real live action since his injury is this fall camp. And so he was cleared in the summer, but for a running back, we don't do team stuff in the summer, so it's still, 7-on-7, running swing routes here or there. You don't get the same feel, as you do running the football in practice and feeling a thud and finishing runs. And so he's playing his way into shape. I think he's doing a nice job with that. And you see the flashes, you see the vision, like all the things that we loved about him last year. You see that kind of coming back to life. So I'm excited about where he's headed, and he's doing a great job working himself back into shape and back into the player that he was last year.
And look, I don't know how other teams do it in terms of team drills with running backs at other schools. I would imagine it's something that they've looked at and studied and go, does it make sense for us to do it? And makes sense for us to do it at this point in time. So, I was a little surprised about the playing back into shape, but it's more football shape, I think, more than anything else.
Sure, you would think so.
And being used to getting hit and that type of stuff. So that's the other thing. The biggest thing that I'm kind of interested in is what Garrett McGuire had to say about Quentin Joyner's mentality in terms of coming back from that injury. Garrett McGuire.
Right. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Injury's tough, right? Full year, just, coming in here. You're a part of the team, but you don't really feel like you're a part of the team. And, he handled himself really, really well. I was proud of him. He went 2 straight semesters of above a 3.5. The first semester he went 4.0. Last one, in the spring, he was above a 3.5. So really proud of the way he handled himself off the field. On the field, I think his mindset's really switched, and, I think he's seen it. Obviously, he saw it with the way that Cam and Jack played last year, but he's seen them with their prep as well, and so his urgency's really upped after watching them, because it's like you go from, like you said, being the hunted to now he's the hunter, so to speak.
And I wonder too. I mean, I'm sure that they, not that you want them to kind of put a cap on him, but he's probably one of those guys that you probably have to say, okay, let's take it. Let's kind of eat the elephant one bite at a time here. Let's not try to do too much in the early going.
Well, there shouldn't be a problem with that with the number of backs that you have.
Yeah. I'm just talking about from his own, it would be human nature to be like, okay, I got to go prove myself and show these guys that I can do it.
Okay.
So, and maybe that's good too. So, I mean, it seems like things are going really, really well. Again, knock on wood, on what's been happening over there at football. And if you go to the Red Raider Club lunch today, you'll I can't imagine you wouldn't walk out of there like feeling like 10 feet tall or walking on sunshine, so to speak, right?
Whoa.
Walking on sunshine. I don't know how that song goes, but I mean, there's one, Walking on Sunshine.
My response was the next bit of the song.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
You weren't telling me to like, whoa. It was just...
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
We're always on your side, Chuck. We may disagree with you.
Okay.
But we root for Chuck.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay.
Not just the lone wolf. I know that.
No. You are a major part of this 3-legged stool. Okay.
Just equal third.
Okay, so I got an odd question for you today.
Okay.
It kind of, you got me thinking when you were talking earlier today about which would you want to win a national championship, which of the of the 3 sports that you mentioned, football, men's basketball, and softball.
Yep.
And so I just got thinking about the stars that we have had on our campus of late. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because we have had some big ones.
No doubt.
And my question for you today, and this can be taken a lot of different ways, okay? So there are no wrong answers, Chuck.
Okay.
You always like to hear that.
I do like hearing that because I feel like that quite frequently I give an answer that could be perceived as wrong.
If I were to ask you, and it has to be an athlete, not a coach, who is the big man on campus right now? And that can be man or woman, obviously. But I want you to give me the top 3 in order.
Oh, wow. Who is the big man?
Who are the stars of stars that we have on the tech campus right now? I mean, they may be in their apartments right now, but
sure,
they're competing for the Red Raiders and Lady Raiders right now. Any sport, men or women.
I think JT Toppin is the big man on campus right now. I think big man on campus in waiting, but he's a different personality, is Will Hammond. And I think the person that people could get really excited about, but I don't know how boisterous she's going to be because I don't think she's that boisterous. But Stephanie Okawuchu, I got to get this name down right. Our 7-footer.
That would help.
Stephanie.
Yes.
Stephanie. I mean, it's literally is the tallest person on campus. I don't think there's anybody taller than 7'1". She might even be 7'2". But I think that she is she draws attention.
Okay.
Okawuchu. Yeah, Stephanie. We're just going to call her Steph.
Strike 3, you're out.
Yeah. That's why we need Fink. We need
and
Fink
the
on,
0-2 pitch.
I need my lifeline. I need my Fink lifeline.
Okay, so
I feel like you've nailed it many times.
I know, and
before,
I know, right?
It's just a bad coffee day.
It's just a bad coffee day.
something. We're going to go the starting quarterback of your Big 12 championship football team right now is Will Hammond. He is still the big man on campus. There is not a person on campus I don't think knows his name. Especially with all of the conversation this offseason and the back end that he's got of the team being the starting quarterback and being a returner for this football team. I think Toppin is 2, and I think Christian Anderson is 3.
Christian Anderson's not on campus.
Not Christian Anderson.
Keep going.
No.
That's a
Dang, just got back.
Darion Williams?
No.
Donovan Atwell.
Donovan Atwell.
Okay.
I think this is really hard.
Because of the returning aspect of Donovan Atwell.
Okay. I think this is really hard. I think Atwell is a good answer, too.
Yeah, I think so.
I think this is really hard. I think it's still JT Toppin at number 1. I think it's Ben Roberts at number 2.
You do. Okay.
And I think Cam Dickey is number 3. I get that people know Will Hammond's name.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think when I think big man on campus, I think stud, I think leader, I think the guy that,
people look to.
Yeah, I think you're walking around campus, walking around the city, people see him hey, that's blah, blah, blah. I think Will Hammond will get there. I don't think he's there right now. But if you're just going off of whose face have we seen more, Will Hammond or Ben Roberts and Cam Dickey, it's Will Hammond. You're right. And so that's why I can't argue against him. I think he'll get there. I just think right now Roberts and Dickey are known as these two are studs. We know they're studs. I think JT's the clear number 1 to me.
I agree with you. That's what I said. I mean, I said JT Toppin, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think it comes a little bit easier with the recognizability of people. Did I just make up a word? Is that a word?
No, I think recognizability.
I think that exists. I think you're good.
Okay.
Being recognizable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easier with basketball players because they don't play with helmets on.
Sure. And they're,
Yeah.
You can see them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is hard because I think we've had other guys before that were the clear-cut guys, right?
Yeah, because last year you'd have said Jacob Rodriguez, you'd have said David Bailey, and you would have said JT Toppin. Not necessarily in that order at this time a year ago, but those, yeah.
I don't know that I would have said David Bailey just because
he was certainly the most talked about it.
He had just stepped onto our campus. Yeah.
The number of people have brought up Caitlin Terry.
I was going to say Caitlin Terry is probably 4th on my list.
Okay.
Yep. Probably 4th on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think she's deserving of that.
Okay. All right. Good question. Good question.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Hey, good morning. It is 8:02 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thank you for being with us today on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. We come to you from the First United Bank studio, where we take your thoughts and comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. The Visual Edge IT hotline, it too is open at 806-771-0973. My chat GPT for us created a caricature of a photo that had taken of me and Jamie at Optimum Game Day Live. Thought that might be a potential patch for us.
Oh, okay.
So for the uniform, we could put that on the Lady Raiders and on Texas Tech baseball.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll let you get approval on that.
Might have to make a more significant contribution than maybe what I'm willing to make for that. But hey, sales cures all ills. All right, so the more I've thought about this, the more I just feel like that sometimes in life you make choices, right? And sometimes you make good choices, and sometimes you make bad choices. I mean, this could be with your job. This could be with relationships. This could be with whether you should, do something, nefarious, whether it's as a kid or as an adult. And sometimes you don't get a second bite of the apple. I mean, look at old Adam and Eve. One bite set it all in motion. There wasn't any fifth year for Adam and Eve. All right. They said, don't bite the apple. They bit the apple. And then look what happened. All hell broke loose. So I get with regard to some of the basketball situation that, the fifth year stuff. Where I'm having trouble is with the NFL and these guys that are in training camps right now and have filed a suit and now have been granted a temporary restraining order to return to college for one more season. I'm sorry. I just can't sign off on this. You got 3 players that are in this group at least, and they're trying to make an NFL team, all right? And sometimes when you make that choice, that fork in the road, and you go left and you get down the lane a little bit and go, probably should have gone right. And sometimes you can't turn around and go back. And I think this is one of these deals. You've chosen to be in the NFL. You've chosen to go after it. Now you're suing and trying to have your cake and eat it too. And I think it's wrong because I think you've got, especially with football, obviously we're just a couple of weeks away from the season starting. And so you're going to say to some cat, hey, Anthony Hankerson doesn't want to play in the NFL, so he's going to come back here and play for us at Oregon State this year.
Okay.
He's going to come back. So Johnny Ledbetter over here, man, I'm sorry.
I think there was 3 starters on Ole Miss's team from a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah, Daquan Wright, Xavier Harris, and Wydett Williams. They're among those that have gotten a opportunity to come back.
Just help me out here.
Yeah.
And again, this is not me trying to be one side or the other here. I just want your explanation. How is it different than what's going on in basketball?
I know, and I guess like I said, I mean, it's a bit hypocritical to say that. It's hypocritical. It's
a bit, or it is.
It's hypocritical. Yeah.
So there's no difference.
No, I think there is a bit of a difference. I think to me, it's the timing of the season. I mean, football's a couple weeks away from starting, and the basketball stuff. At least Darion Williams, he had his name in the portal. He never went to the NBA. And with regard to the other one, I mean, he was in the summer league, and Donovan Atwell, and I struggle with that because I'm thrilled that he's back here. But when they put out the release, they said he signed a contract, and it's just hard for me to believe that anybody's going to play in a summer league game or an NBA game without being A, compensated, and B, signing a contract. But I feel for the basketball guys a little bit, just from the standpoint that at least for them, there's some space between now and the start of the season and the start of, and in the case of Texas Tech, they held a couple of scholarships open. So it's not like Coach McCaslin's saying to somebody, hey, we're bringing in Darion and we're bringing in Donovan, and you're getting bumped, and you're not going to have a scholarship, or you're going to sit way, way, way at the end of the bench. I mean, they kept stuff open in the case of Texas Tech. So I can justify that in my mind.
Because it's the team you root for.
Well, there's you might say there's some of that, but I think just the fact that he said we kept scholarships open, they didn't fill their roster.
Yeah, no, I believe that.
So they didn't fill their roster.
I believe that.
So I'm okay with that.
But that doesn't change the opinion of what you started out with is, hey, you had your chance, you made your decision,
right? And in the
on.
case of Atwell, I would say, man, you made.
Although you could say you didn't make a decision, the decision was made for you. The rules at that time where you play 4 years and you move on. So you didn't necessarily make a decision; the decision was made for you.
Yeah, I think.
Which you could say about both sides, both football and basketball.
It's hard. I just kind of believe at some point in time you have to draw the line.
Chuck, college athletes today, they get their cake and they get to eat it.
Yeah.
It's a good time to be a college athlete.
Yeah.
Everybody gets cake.
Yeah. Everybody gets cake. Just don't put any coconut on the top of my chocolate cake. I'll scrape it off. And again, I know it's hypocritical.
I 1,000% believe it's hypocritical.
Yeah, I know it is. I know it is.
Yeah, I wonder if you would be bringing this up if we had a football player that was.
Well,
if Romello Height was like, you know what? I think I'm coming back.
I think I would still struggle with it, Jamie. Maybe. I mean, it's easy to take shots at Ole Miss. I get it. 810. You have an opinion? Give us one.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet973.com.